I want to give programming solution to the extremely motivated, intense individual. For those type of athletes, stick to the video. Before we get going, all the Bodyweight Tribe athletes that are not yet subscribed to the Calisthenics membership site, link is in the description below. You can subscribe to the membership site, but there are tons of free content out there already, articles, Calisthenics program that you can get for absolutely free. So check the website. Okay, so the high-intensity athlete. For all of my students, all of the people that I work with, they know the neurotransmitter test that I run on my athletes. So basically, I can get to know my athletes before I actually meet them. So the program will be much more specific to them. And obviously, there are more tools, just like doing video chat, getting to know them, and actually in the future, seeing what works for them best when they're on the program in doing that. But I run the neurotransmitter profile, and for anyone who has been familiar with Christian Thibodeau's or Charles Poliquin work, we're talking about the fire type athletes, the 1A type of athlete, extremely high intensity. If you always know that person, he's extremely competitive, he's always the most dominant in the room, and he usually is not extremely sympathetic towards other people because he mostly motivated by winning, by being the most dominant person in the room. So we're talking about that type of athlete. So for those who train with extremely high intensity, nonetheless, let's say that you do not really acknowledge the fact about you, if you only like high intensity, you're probably among that criteria. That's the programming solution for you. I brought a programming solution. Stick with me. We are running 4 training days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Almost one day on, one day off. And for you to really solve the problem of the extreme stress that you produce each individual session, we really only repeat the same workout once a week. So low frequency per movement. If you were to repeat the planche twice a week, on the second session, which is probably 3 days after, you really risk of being under-recovered since you only work high intensity. And I don't want you to change. You are a high-intensity athlete, and that's what is optimal for you. We need to match the programming to the athlete and not the other way around. Once a week per movement, we'll provide you with 7 days of recovery between similar efforts or muscle groups. We're performing 8 singles. That's the main work. For the planche, you can do isometric holds. So straddle, planche, isometric holds. The equivalent of 1 repetition would be 2 to 3 seconds. So extremely high intensity sets. Not all of them are done straight sets, meaning with the same variation and the same intensity. Those are ramp ups. So you start by performing advanced stack, then you maybe do like a frog, straddle with bent leg, and then you enter maybe 3, maybe 4 straddle planche isometric hold singles. Those are the heavy sets. Once you finish that, you can back off for 2 sets. I can even say 1 set at this stage, or probably good to go home, of 3 to 5 repetition, which is more strength building repetition range than a maximum effort repetition range. Very, very beneficial. Still relatively high intensity. Stick with me. I know you like singles better, but that's crucial as well. And that's the workout. So you took straddle planche, you ramped up, you warmed up specifically towards the straddle planche, hit a few sets of that, and then backed off to a slightly easier variation like the advanced stack or a bent straddle. you did a slightly longer holds up to 10 seconds and you go home. That's a 40-minute workout. You don't need any more than that. And you repeat that with chin-ups and handstand push-up and front level. So I took some kind of a straight arm, bent arm, push-pull routine. Once a week per movement. Really awesome routine for the high-intensity athlete. Another problem that we need to solve. Since everything is extremely high intensity and we are not rotating intensity or volume, we need to rotate variations. That's the only thing we have to rotate left so we can really work around the recoverability. Okay, so first week we talked about straddle planche hold. Next week, let's do straddle planche push-ups or planche push-ups. So maybe you won't be able to perform straddle. If it's chin-ups, maybe you did chin-ups. The next week you're doing pull-ups. So that's different weight. That's different variation. You're really messing with the central nervous system, who otherwise would have been extremely exhausted performing the same thing, since it's only high-intensity stuff. So you have to rotate between, let's say, within a training month, 3 to 4 variations. We can do planche presses, we can do planche holds, we can do planche push-ups. There you go. We can throw in other variations if you like. Okay, make sure you track of those, you take that track of those workouts, and then once you repeat the same variation twice, you make sure that you make it, better. One more repetition, more seconds if that's isometric hold, or more advanced position. So that's the high intensity athlete programming solving. So I hope it helped. I know that high intensity athletes, the dominant fire type athletes, they usually don't contact me because they think that they can do everything by themselves. So that's really the paradox. But they still watch YouTube videos. Even if they don't comment and tell me, hey, it helped because I'm a competition to them, I hope that they did. And again, check the link in the description for the Bodyweight Tribe. A lot of content, exercise tutorials, calisthenics programs. Check the website. See you next time.